At 4:30 a.m. on September 28, 2025, high above Belgorod, Russia, 4 American-made HIMARS missiles slice through the dense morning fog at over Mach 25. They were launched from deep within Ukraine just moments earlier, and now, 43 miles from their destination, they're invisible to the Russian operators manning an S-400 Triumph air defense battery. On their screens, there's nothing. The radar is blind. In just 90 seconds, that blindness will turn catastrophic. The missiles are heading straight for the Novy Oskol substation, a vital node in Russia's regional war infrastructure. This single site powers the radar arrays, the communication grids, and the fuel depots feeding tank divisions along the front. Knocking it out is not just an attack, it's a decapitation strike, and Ukraine has crafted a way to do it right under Russia's nose. Simultaneously, just 50 feet above the treetops, a swarm of 6 drones, part of what's been dubbed the Fog Phantom Swarm, is streaking toward the same target. The lead is a high-tech shark drone equipped with a 30 times thermal camera, acting as the eyes for the operation. The rest are cheap. 3D-printed FPV kamikaze drones releasing chaff that mimics flocks of birds on radar. To Russian defenses, it looks like nothing more than random wildlife. This illusion costs Ukraine a few $100s, and it's fooling billions in Russian hardware. The drones fly beneath radar coverage while the HIMARS missiles soar high above, perfectly synchronized. Ukrainian crews learned this precision from past costly lessons, like the debacle at Prosovk. They know they have 5 minutes to fire, pack up, and vanish before counter-battery fire rains down. By the time Russian sensors realize what's happening, the launchers are already gone. At 4:31 a.m., when the first HIMARS and the drone swarm are just 10 miles away, everything changes. Russian screens flare with static. The Kasuka-4, a $50 million electronic warfare system, has awakened. Its job? To fill the airwaves with noise, jamming GPS signals and scrambling communication links. Ukrainian feeds dissolve into white snow. One FPV drone, suddenly blind, jerks off course and crashes into the forest. But the Kasuka has an Achilles heel. It devours power like a jet engine. If it runs at full capacity for more than 15 minutes, it overheats and must shut down. Even worse, its filters can't properly distinguish between complex drone signals and natural clutter. The Ukrainians knew this. The shark drone operator gives the command. The swarm goes live. FPVs begin releasing chaff in programmed bursts, each cluster mimicking hundreds of low-priority blips. The Russian radar, overwhelmed, starts to lag and misclassify. Meanwhile, the first HIMARS missile, denied GPS guidance, switches seamlessly to its inertial navigation system, a built-in, hyper-accurate digital compass. Underneath, the shark drone spots the substation through the fog and paints it with an invisible laser target, one the jammers can't touch. The HIMARS, blind to the world but loyal to the beam, homes in. As a confused Russian EW officer stares at a radar full of phantom birds, the Ukrainian team launches their second missile from another hidden location. The Kasuka, overloaded with false data, crashes and reboots. Its jamming field collapses. But that brief silence screams across the electromagnetic spectrum and awakens a new threat. At 4:32 a.m., the Panzer S-1 anti-aircraft system locks on and prepares to fire. A deep mechanical growl fills the Russian command post. The Panzer S-1 spins its turrets and launches a 57E-6 missile. A bright streak tears through the dawn, a line of white-hot fire. The first HIMARS missile, still gliding on inertial and laser guidance, disappears in a flash of light. It's vaporized instantly. A nearby FPV drone is shredded by shrapnel. Inside the Ukrainian bunker, the operator wipes sweat from his forehead. 3 missiles left. But they're not out of options. The Panzer may be deadly to jets, but against this mix of drones and fog, it has fatal flaws. The morning mist blinds its thermal optics. Its radar has a 2-second tracking lag, an eternity against fast-weaving FPVs, and the rolling hills between the launcher and the swarm create radar shadows. The Ukrainian operator seizes the moment. The swarm splits formation. 4 FPV drones dive low, skimming the forest canopy, zigzagging through birch trees while dropping magnesium flares that burn brighter than bonfires. The flares draw the Panzer's missiles away. The Shark drone, meanwhile, hugs the terrain, hiding behind a hill while maintaining its laser lock on the substation. From a third hidden site, the Ukrainians fire their 4th and final missile. The S-400, still struggling with its overloaded radar feed, unleashes 2 more multi-million-dollar interceptors, both aimed at phantom targets. The real missile continues undetected. By 4:34 a.m., the world's most expensive defense network has been reduced to chaos. On the ground, a handful of Russian guards stand atop a frost-covered rooftop near the substation. Out of the fog, a low, haunting whistle rises, faint at first, then growing louder. They can't see what's coming, only that it's coming fast. Instinct takes over. The guards open fire, spraying tracer rounds wildly into the gray air. Orange streaks arc upward, vanishing into the mist, but it's useless. Trying to hit a Mach 2.5 missile with a rifle is like trying to swat a bullet in mid-air. Meanwhile, Russian artillery continues pounding the empty launch site, turning a barren patch of mud into a cratered wasteland, an expensive temper tantrum against an enemy that's already gone. Each explosion is proof of how completely the Ukrainians have mastered shoot-and-scoot warfare. In the Ukrainian bunker, operators watch the chaos unfold on the Shark drone's thermal feed. The guard's muzzle flashes appear as tiny white dots in the fog, a minor nuisance. The operator makes a ruthless choice. One of the remaining FPV drones, a cheap $400 3D printed kamikaze with a small anti-personnel charge, is redirected. It isn't meant to destroy infrastructure, just to clear the path. The drone dives. The guards spot it at the last possible second, a dark, buzzing silhouette slicing through the fog. And then, nothing. The explosion is brief, decisive. The rooftop falls silent. The final obstacle is gone. Now, nothing stands between the last 2 HIMARS missiles and their objective. The Shark drone steadies its laser, holding a pinpoint-perfect dot on the substation's main transformer. At 4:35 a.m., the Shark's camera zooms in, capturing the vast electrical complex. Transformers humming like sleeping beasts, cables glowing faintly under strain. On a nearby rooftop, surviving Russian troops fire flares desperately into the fog, illuminating nothing. They know missiles are inbound, but have no idea how to stop them. That substation, weighing hundreds of tons, would need at least 20 seconds to perform an emergency shutdown. The HIMARS missiles will arrive in less than 50 milliseconds. Then, impact. The first missile slams through 12 inches of reinforced concrete before detonating inside the main transformer. A heartbeat later, the second missile strikes the central switching hub. The warheads-shaped charges unleash the Monroe effect, channeling their explosive force into jets of molten plasma, moving at over 7,000 feet per second. The result is catastrophic. Transformers rupture like overripe fruit. Circuit breakers vaporize. A wave of electrical fire cascades through the grid, throwing arcs of blue lightning hundreds of feet into the air. The sky glows as Russia's military power in the Belgorod sector collapses in an instant. Zooming out, the scene is breathtaking. One coordinated strike has just erased 20% of Belgorod's military electrical grid. The once feared S-400 Triumph system, the billion-dollar god of the skies, is now a blind, powerless monument. Fuel depots for the armored divisions go dark, their pumps dead. Communication nodes fall silent. The Russian war machine in this region isn't wounded, it's paralyzed. Strategically, the implications are massive. To restore control, Moscow will be forced to pull vital air defense units from the front lines, weakening its grip over contested zones like the Donbass. It's a perfect echo of Ukraine's economic warfare campaign, the same one that crippled 16 Russian oil refineries and bled over 1 million barrels of output per day. From a fortified bunker near Kharkiv, Ukrainian operators stare at their screens. The Shark drone's feed shows a glowing inferno where the substation once stood. Mission accomplished. All of it. The billion-dollar defense network, the electronic warfare systems, the radar domes, undone by a mix of ingenuity, cheap drones, and precision missiles. It's not brute force, it's chess. This operation marks more than a tactical victory. It's a demonstration of evolution in modern warfare. The age of massive, costly weapons systems is being rewritten by creativity, speed, and data. The ghost in the fog strategy has shown that intelligence, not expense, defines the battlefield. Even as Russian crews scramble to understand what happened, the Ukrainian launchers are already repositioning for their next move. Every destroyed node, every blackout, every moment of confusion erodes Russia's ability to fight efficiently. And in the middle of all this stands the lesson of the night. Don't underestimate a nation that learns faster than you adapt. From $400 drones to $200,000 missiles, Ukraine's hybrid warfare playbook has changed everything. Each successful strike forces the enemy to pour millions into repairing, defending, or replacing what's already obsolete. In the aftermath, Russia's sensors still flicker with false signals, phantom birds, ghost drones, and echoes of missiles that no longer exist. The S-400 supercomputer continues trying to solve a puzzle that's already over. Meanwhile, Ukrainian analysts begin planning the next operation. The blueprint is proven. Blind the radar, overwhelm the algorithm, strike the node, vanish before retaliation. Repeat until the entire grid buckles. From that dimly lit Ukrainian command center comes the final message for the viewers watching the operation unfold. If you believe in fighting smart, not just hard, hit that like button and subscribe. Then comes the challenge to the audience. Ukraine has shown it can blind the S-400 and paralyze an entire sector. What should they target next with this same strategy? The Kerch Bridge, a command bunker, or something even deeper behind enemy lines? The camera zooms out on the Shark drone's last feed, a foggy, burning horizon where the Novi Oskol substation once pulsed with power. Now, it's silent. Ukraine's message is clear. This is what modern warfare looks like.